Welcome to the Road to Blake Street Banter, where one of us knows what the word banter means. The other two have been holding down the fort for the last month or so as I'm just trying to get my life together because 4 kids and a full-time job and 4 kids is just absolutely insane. But you guys have been doing fantastic. I've been listening to you every single week. Isaac, what up? How you doing?
How we doing? See, I'm now getting comfortable talking to nothing, to nobody. So it's going well. What's new with you, Aaron?
Nothing. School year is done this week. I'm on a half day right now, so just kind of enjoying this afternoon. But next week is just going to be insane again with the kiddo being busy. But we're going to enjoy it when we have it, right? Mike, how you doing, big dog?
Good. I feel like you said we're holding down the fort. I feel like it's our fort now. So
yeah, I'm just here. I am a guest.
You're like a guest today. This is a little banter session we got going.
Ask me any questions you want.
Well, actually, fun fact, you said that. Isaac has trivia again this week, and you get to partake.
All right, let's go. I would have got the last one correct, by the way.
I technically got it right.
Since 2018, there have been 5 different opening day second basemen. Can you guys name those 5 second basemen?
Since 2018?
Since 2018.
I mean, Amador this year. No, he wasn't the starter.
No.
Brendan Rodgers. I'll put that one.
Yeah, Brendan Rodgers.
Yep.
Who was it? Was it Farmer this year?
It was.
Before that, we had.
Wasn't Brendan Rodgers hurt? Like there was a year where Brendan Rodgers was hurt, and we threw in like.
I don't know who we threw in. DJ was here.
Yeah, for 2018.
Yep.
One is on the current roster. One is not on the current roster.
The 26 man.
Do they still play the middle infield?
Not in the middle infield anymore.
Rymack.
Is it McMahon? Oh,
yeah, it's McMahon. The last one is the trickiest.
What?
It was 2021.
Are they retired? Oh, dude, man. Castro.
No, not Castro.
No,
not Castro.
I was gonna guess Castro. That would be brutal if he started.
He went on a really hot streak in 2021. He I don't think he's playing on a team anymore.
No idea.
Yeah, can I get the country he's from?
He's from American. Any last guess?
No idea.
No.
Chris Owings.
I never would have got there.
Never would have got there. A tricky one. I made it tricky for you guys.
Man, what could have been if Brendan Rodgers could have just stayed healthy and done his thing? Going from DJ to what B-Rod should have been, it would have been nice.
Yeah,
it would have been nice.
And then Aaron, real quick, if you don't know it, I won't give out the answer. Do you know the only Gatorade High School Player of the Year the Rockies have drafted?
Prosecki.
Well, National Player of the Year.
Oh, National Player of the Year? I
drafted one of them. All right. It'll come out in an article I've been writing. So there you go.
We're cooking in the writing lab. Let's go. That'll be fun. Speaking of writing, if you haven't checked out Tyler's What is Wrong with the Rockies article on BlakeStreetBanter.com, please go do so. A lot of behind the numbers reasoning. And the Rockies are pretty much exactly what they have been for the last 2-3 years. It's just kind of bad luck, bad defense, and bad base running is what it comes down to. I think the defense is hurting more than what it should be, is kind of what the article alludes to. This is beyond the front office is a hot mess. We get that. But sometimes looking at the numbers tells another story that we need to get to. And like some of those stories include a Michael Toglia, recently demoted from the big league squad down to AAA. I mean, he didn't play for 3 or 4 games as they were working on him, which before we get into any of it, I love the fact that Warren Schaefer pulled it and said, hey, you've got to figure this out. And if Pacheco can't figure it out with you at the big league squad and Wilson can't figure it out with you at the big league squad, there are some bigger issues that need to be found. So send him down to Albuquerque, probably with some guidance by Pacheco, who has worked with Toglia in the past down in Albuquerque. Nick Wilson has been the head of hitting for 2 years, I believe. Well respected around the organization. So Toglia definitely has something that he needs to work on, and he's got to be working on it. But like Isaac, this move, was it a surprise? Was it a month too late? What are we getting at? What do you think?
I mean, for me, I think that Toglia has been struggling for a while, but he's a guy who had such a hot streak. He was on fire for almost all of 2024. You'd think that he was going to turn it around. You'd think of inevitably it was going to happen. He was just going to get hot again. And that just simply wasn't the case. And so when a guy is struggling this badly, when his thing was hitting the ball hard, and whenever he did make contact, it was usually a line drive. It was a hard hit ball. This year, when it's bad contact, bad results, you're going to see a guy get demoted. And I think it was a long time coming, but I don't blame the Rockies for not demoting him earlier.
We're not blaming for earlier.
No, I think I think he's a guy that the Rockies had a lot of high praise for. And so you just have this expectation, you have this thought it's going to turn around, and it just never did. So I don't blame them whatsoever.
I think I do. And I think that's where my theory of Bud and his culture of the locker room was detrimental to the club, where Warren Schaefer's like, I'm a new voice. We're going to try to do something else. Michael Toglia hadn't really proved anything. He had a few hot months last year. And I think Michael Toglia can hit bombs, and I think he can be a decent major leaguer. But the way that the Rockies organization and Bud treats Michael it seemed just off to what the production was. I mean, like his Gold Glove status at first base. Sure, he can pick it, but there are some mistakes that are in the field that shows by outs above average that he's at a -3 right now, which, like you said, Isaac, off air, was range factor. But some of those range factors are what makes you a Gold Glover. And so, like, sure, you can pick it and you can save it, but like, what are we doing between the ears before the pitch is called, ready to go? And I think some of that stuff should not have been given the leash that it was. But everybody has just said Michael Toglia is a good hitter. Everybody says Michael Toglia can do a Gold Glove, as opposed to, no, this is what he needs to work on. This is what he should focus on. And I think that call should have been made sooner. Granted, we didn't have a first baseman calling up, but you brought in a Farmer. You brought in a Martini. I don't think Martini plays first base, but you have Rymack who could easily play over there for a little bit. I don't know. I think that was a Bud Black call that hurt Michael Toglia and the team a little bit more than we will ever kind of see or notice. I don't know. Any thoughts, Mike?
Yeah, I wonder if Toglia kind of like hid behind the noise, because there's a lot of players that are underperforming. And it was never really like you looked at this Rockies team and you said, oh, Michael Toglia is the problem. You looked at this Rockies team and said, starter 1 through 5 and line batter 1 through 9 is the problem. And throughout this season, that's been mostly the case. I know the broadcast has harped on the fastball thing, but last year slugged .577 against it. This year it's .330. Like if that fastball, you have to hit it, especially if you're dependent on your power numbers. And it's been a -6 runs value pitch for him. It was +7. It was by far that's where he was. His bread and butter last year was the fastball. This year he's not hitting it, and just that's mainly the difference. But he'll go down to Albuquerque. You'll see plenty of fastballs. And we saw this last time when he went down. We had the same conversation of, like, are we stuck in, like, the quad A player loop? And he came back and hit 25 home runs. So he could come back and do it again.
And I'll end it with this as just a thought to watch as we go through it. He's not going to get the fastballs, major league fastballs at AAA. So he's going to crush, and the numbers are going to be nice. We see that with Zach Veen a little bit. I think the average fastball, when I looked it up a few weeks ago for Zach Veen in the AAA, was 94 miles an hour. The average fastball Zach Veen was seeing at the major league level was like 96, 97. So we might not see that Toglia fastball switch. I also wonder if the league's adjusting. I could throw this man some off speed as he's trying to work through these big swing and miss, and then I'm going to sneak a fastball by him. I have not watched a lot of Rockies, as much Rockies games to really prove that. I've watched a lot of Rockies, but I think that's a theory that when he does get called up, what's his swing decisions kind of stuff looking like? So I think looking at his fastball swing percentage at the AAA level, and I think pitches per plate appearance is something I'm going to be keeping an eye on, because if he's working counts and able to get pitches that he wants, it might be for the better. Other transactions. Orlando Arcia is a Colorado Rocky. I think that happened after you guys went live last week. I think you guys went live last Tuesday or Wednesday. So It was shortly after that, or it was in the talks. Anything you want to add? I know we're a road to Blake Street Panther conversation right now, but it did affect our boy Shunk to go down to the farm. Anything you want to add about Orlando Arcia?
I'm pretty indifferent about it, so
I opened it for you. I think you're missing the opportunity to say they messed up bringing in an old veteran who's hitting sub 200 that was cut by the Atlanta Braves, a World Series team. I think they messed up by bringing in him instead of calling up Ryan Ritter.
here's the thing.
Put it
Aaron.
on a tee for you.
Here's the thing, Aaron. I told this Isaac off the pod last week. The Ryan Ritter thing is becoming slightly annoying because every week I brought Ryan Ritter up. Even when he doesn't really need to be brought up, I brought him up. But now he has like the reason to be the main focus of the Rockies pod or this farm system pod. It's just like I've talked about Ryan Ritter so much. I don't know. I feel like someone else should take the reins, the Ryan Ritter guy. Like I'll be the president of Ryan Ritter FC. I don't mind that. But man, I talk about him every week.
I mean, does it make us mad though?
A little bit, yeah. And
Does it
also,
make
I
us
didn't know he
mad?
was 30. Like I did not know Orlando Arcia was 30. So that kind of, if it was like a 28 or 25-year-old Orlando Arcia, sure. But dude is running his course as an MLB player.
For me personally, I don't hate the transaction whatsoever. The Rockies are off to a historically bad start. There's not been any like change in like the way they're playing. Like it's been the same thing every single day that they're going out there, and it's just not working for the Rockies. You bring in a guy like Orlando Arcia, who has a lot of energy, who plays with a lot of fun baseball. It's been a noticeable difference, and he's been doing just fine for us these last couple of games. And I think that kind of like momentum switch just by adding that kind of a player is great for the Rockies. It's great for the young guys. It can have guys play out, and I'm all for it. I don't know.
Yeah, and we get to see the Venezuelan middle infield practice for the WBC next year, which is awesome. They get some reps together. We have 3 of them, so that's pretty cool.
So there's probabilities high. My pushback to that, Isaac, is how does adding Orlando Arcia for a 130 loss Colorado Rockies team set the Rockies up for success in 2026?
I mean, it's what you can take away from a guy like Orlando Arcia. Like when we had Connor Joe a couple years back, like he added so much fun and excitement to the team that like it added a kind of like legacy after he left for a lot of the younger guys. I assume I might just be pulling that out, but that can be a guy that could be something Orlando Arcia could 100% do for this young Rockies team that's losing 130 games this year.
Yeah, I'm kind of turning around now. I remember there was a Jason Kelsey. He has a podcast. He was talking about tanking, and he's like, if you're not trying to win, even if you're bad, like it says something about like the character of the people that work for the team.
Yeah,
and I understand as a Rockies pod, it's interesting bringing that up, but at least they're trying something. And you say, how are we going to be successful next year? I think not being the worst team of all time could be a very big part of being a lot better next year, because I think that would do such a mental toll to the players and people in the org that I really want to avoid that at all costs. And they're trying, so there's that.
I agree with that premise. The idea that losing doesn't take a toll on young kids who, honestly, this group of kids have won in the minors. They've won at Northwest League. They've won in the Eastern League. They've had winning seasons together. They haven't lost a lot at the minor leagues level. Let me take Albuquerque out of the picture, but like this group of guys, this kids has that. And I think, Isaac, to your point, having a glue guy in a 130 loss season is super important. And there really hasn't been a glue guy, rah guy type thing. Jay Cave was that man last year, right? We had Connor Joe a few years. As much as I don't enjoy Spilly, he was that guy in 2007 to bring the team together. So it's like you kind of need that dude. You need a Bryce Harper to call you out on your bullshit. And you also need the Bryce Harper to, hey, we're good. We got this. Let's go do it. And maybe Orlando Arcia brings that little outside perspective there that the Rockies are kind of missing, because they really don't have that guy. Kyle Farmer's not that guy. I mean, yeah, they just don't. Carson Palmquist, I have loved the fact that Carson Palmquist has stayed up for 4 starts in a row. Granted, the Rockies don't really have a choice because Dollander went down. Blaylock had struggled. Gordon did okay in his spot start. I think, is he still up with the big league squad? Is he part of the rotation still? I don't know what there might be a move today because
Dollander is the Rockies MiLB stuff.
Yeah. So there might be a move there, but Palmquist had 8 Ks, 7 Ks last outing, gave up 2 home runs, but 4 earned runs in his 4.2 innings pitched. I think he's been exactly what we kind of expected him to be. The 8 strikeouts was honestly pretty astonishing for me. Like, I didn't think he would be a big strikeout guy, but he's learning how to pitch, and I haven't looked at the numbers. But anything you guys want to add on Carson Palmquist, who is a friend of the pod, so we have to spend some time on him.
Yeah, brutal start last week and against the Mets. He had such a good start going and gives up a walk and then a home run right after. And it's just like, man, like to have like the start end up with like 3 earned runs when he was pitching the best he's pitched so far. His stuff was great. He was playing well. Just to get got, especially got, but I mean, it's the Mets lineup. That top of the lineup's going to get anybody. And it feels like when you're Palmquist and the first couple starts have been really bad, when you do finally put a good one together, but you still end up with like 3 earned runs just because Lindor is Lindor, it does kind of suck.
Yeah. You're still facing Hall of Fame caliber players, so you're going to have that a little bit. But I'm excited for our dog Carson there. Isaac, do you have anything on an Austin Gomber rehab start in AA?
I do not actually
set you up for failure. My bad.
Yeah, you did set me up for failure.
All right. I'm pretty sure I saw Rockies France post something that he is making a rehab start today for the Goats.
I think that is true.
Mike, get on it. One of you get on that to confirm it.
I think it's true. He made a start in Albuquerque like 50 days ago. So it's his second rehab start this year. Hopefully he finds his stuff. And last time it was pretty brutal. Apparently he didn't access his last 10% and then went back on the IL. So
okay. So it's definitely coming up soon. Either today or sometime this week. Be interesting to see what comes from him when we have.
Yeah, it's today.
It is today. Okay. Mine was loading. So I don't know. I don't know what I want out of Gomber. I think I just want innings at this point to give Dollander and Palmquist some time to get there. Sullivan and Hughes are knocking at the door. We're gonna get to the Hughes promotion to AAA here in a second, but a lot of exciting arms there. Bummer here because one is a friend of the pod and the other one is kind of a dog. Sandy Ozuna and Case Williams have been placed on the full season injured list. This is 2 seasons in a row that Case Williams is not going to pitch in a professional game, which is a bummer because he was one of the big arms a few years ago to make just be part of the starting rotation that was coming up. So it's kind of disappointing. Nice friend of the pod too. So Denver kid also. So hopefully full recovery coming back next year. And then let's do one more major league / friend of the pod / it's still a minor league pod because we talked to him once in our life as a Road to Lake Street banter. And this is for your mom's favorite player. We are starting the All-Star game campaign for Hunter Goodman to make the 2025 All-Star game. I don't know how well this will go. I think the catcher seems a little stacked. I don't know where he ranks in the threshold. He's probably around top 5, maybe top 6 offensively. We won't get into the defensive numbers this year. We're going to drag this out as much as possible because it is a campaign. But how much do you guys love seeing Hunter Goodman's resurgence, so to speak, as a hitter coming into the second full year?
It's all you, Isaac.
I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome. I loved that his power. I loved his power in the minors when he hit like 35 home runs across like Spokane and Hartford. I loved that. And when it wasn't happening, when he got called up to the MLB, I was a little worried. But this year, the ability to hit home runs again has been so good. He's hitting the ball hard. He's giving me a lot of fantasy points and fantasy baseball. He's been a great catcher. Hit deep. It's fun. It's really fun. I love having a guy like Hunter Goodman actually show up.
Yeah. It's great seeing the top 4 go: Jordan Beck, Ezekiel Tovar, Brenton Doyle, Hunter Goodman in that realm. I know Doyle hit 5th last night, but it's cool seeing these. Like, we have like a solid third, 44% of our lineup set every single day, and it's because of the surges of your mom's favorite player, and I think he deserves it, like you were saying. So getting into some of the numbers here, he has dropped his strikeout rate by 3.5%, roughly from last year to this year. His walk percentage has gone up 2%, and all that has translated to a WRC plus from 61 last year to 104. And this is roughly about the same at-bats from this year to last year. The games are different, but the at-bats are about the same. So he's clearly getting better as he goes on. The 25% is still high. The 5.6% walk rate is still low. However, it is increased. It has gotten better since last year. Right. 12 less games this year. He has 20 more singles, 2 more doubles, but his homers are less, and he has 2 less RBI at this point. His BABIP is at 336, while his batting average is at 373. So there's not going to be a lot of regression. There's going to be maybe some. Might get down to that 300 BABIP, balls in place up there, but there's not going to be a lot of bad luck regression in Hunter Goodman right now. I think what we have is what he is. And a lot of that, like you said, his hard hit percentage has gone up 6% from last year. His barrel rate, though, has gone down, which is interesting. He's doing a lot of pulling, and he's hitting the ball hard to the left side. It's either a ground ball hit hard or it's a fly ball hit hard to the left side. He's absolutely crushing the off speed. He's struggling with the fastball like our boy Michael Toglia. So there's some work that needs to be there, but he's making those adjustments on those off speed. You can go look at his slider and change up numbers if you want on Fangraphs. I've been very impressed with your mom's favorite player, and I think this is a year with nobody really stepping up. Jake Bird and Zach Agnos that might get a all-star nod. I think Hunter Goodman has the best case of any position player of a Rockies to make an all-star game, like without being like
McMahon is slowly putting together a very good season, so I'm not going to slight him.
Has he? I've been watching him. I haven't been following as much as he got.
His defense grades out like elite, and then his bat is average currently.
Okay, so his bat came back around a little bit.
So he got a lot of stat correction in the month of May.
Nice, awesome. If you agree with us on the Hunter Goodman All-Star game instead of Rymac, because Hunter Goodman is a friend of the pod, so we're biased. Go ahead.
But if Ryan McMahon wants to join the pod and
come
in, maybe not a banter session, but if he wants to, maybe Noah can talk to him. Yep. That's cool too.
Let's make that happen, right, Mac? I know you're listening. You're not, but go ahead and put it in the chat. Leave us a 5-star review that Hunter Goodman is the all-star, your mom's favorite player, should be recognized as that. And I'm going to try to push the envelope a little bit with this nod.
Well, this is like your Ryan Ritter, so that's why. Like, you've been a Hunter Goodman guy.
I've been high on Hunter Goodman. So. There's also a lot of guys I've been high on for a long time. But Hunter Goodman is one of the ones that I've just enjoyed watching. All of his numbers say that this is who he is. And I think that's okay. And all of the minor league numbers say that. All right. Let's get into the real minor leagues. And let's start in Albuquerque. Let's all pick 1 or 2 guys we want to highlight. I will go first with Keston Hiura. We mentioned Michael Toglia being sent down, but Keston Hiura getting the call up, which is exactly what he was brought in for on a minor league contract. Hey, we just need somebody with major league experience to fill in the void for no more than a month. Let's cross our fingers. It's not more than 6 weeks that we see Kes Daddy hitting bombs in Coors Field or striking out. We all know who he is. He's going to hit big, giant fly bombs. He's also going to have big swing and miss in his arsenal. But before his call up, I think he had 5 home runs in 2 weeks. I think one of you can confirm more than I can right there. But last week he had 3 home runs, 4 hits. So be prepared. Kes Daddy is not here to save the day, but he is to fill the void while Michael Toglia figures it out down below. So I'm kind of excited for Kes Daddy just get another shot. Who cares? Get 6 weeks in under your belt. Find greener pastures when you get DFA'd. Try to go be a contender. We'll see. But Isaac, who's your taupe just for this week?
I have a really niche pick, and I'm gonna go with Connor Van Scoy. All season long, he's been dominating. I was looking at his savant numbers, his StatCast, and his precision on all of his pitches have been so good. He's keeping his slider down low and away, and players aren't hitting it. He's keeping his like low 90s fastball on the dots, on the corner. It's executing really well. When you have a guy with a 3 ERA in the PCL getting a lot of innings, it's encouraging. And I think with his precision and just his overall domination of the strike zone, I think he can be a guy who could get a potential spot start or even like get looked at as a reliever for the Rockies. And like, if you asked me a year ago, I wouldn't even think that's a conversation that we would be having, but he is shoving right now and he's showing no signs of slowing down. So that's my pick.
I like that. He's always been an innings eater in his time with the Colorado Rockies. All right, Mike.
All right, I'm going to go Dugan Darnell. 3.1 3 hits, no earned runs, 3 Ks. Whenever we get a chance to throw Dugan out there, I'm gonna be the first. Well, you're probably gonna be the first to do it, but I'll back you up here. So 3 innings pitch it, 3 hit ball, no earned runs. PCL's hard, and they played the Space Cowboys, who won the AAA championship last year. So there you go. Just shut them down. I know there's an obvious one I should have chose, but
yeah,
today.
You're trying to take a step back from it, so I'll get into it. It's Jeffrey on, right? Like his 1 point,
scared me a little bit.
4 Ks, 2 hits. I don't know what his other numbers are. We love the Jeffrey on experience in spring training, and that's fine. AAA Albuquerque infield Ryan Ritter was named the Rockies Organizational Player of the Month. While I'm talking about this, can one of you figure out who the Rockies minor league pitcher of the month was? So we don't
Wellington Herrera.
It was. Okay, so get those number ready for when we talk about the GOATs. Ritter slash 381, 445, 918 slug. I'm going to say that again. 918 just slug this in the month of May. 10 doubles, 3 triples, 12 home runs, and 31 RBIs. That's probably more than what the Rockies had in the month of May. So something to say there. Led all of the minor league baseball during May in slugging, extra base hits, and total bases. Over under 92 total bases for Ryan Ritter in the month of May.
Over.
Under 89. While tying
making him look bad.
While tying for first in home runs and ranking second in RBI and OPS, which is just impressive. This week he had 23 at bats, 4 home runs, 12 RBIs, 4 Ks, 4 walks. I absolutely love the 1-to-1 ratio, strikeout walk ratio there. There is conversation. Should Ryan Ritter be getting more time at second base, Mike, to fill in the void that what is Amador? We don't know. Obviously, Amador's in AAA next to him, but should Ryan Ritter be getting more looks at second base?
I mean, I'm thinking third base because McMahon is. We've already seen Bob Nightingale come out and say that the Cubs and Dodgers both want McMahon on the radar.
Already arrested.
And it's like, who's the third baseman? We have Shunk, who can definitely throw it, but also Ritter, elite defense at short, so it's probably going to translate to third base. And if you want to just put a hot bat in the lineup or a guy who's raking, there's a way to do it.
There we go. I think he needs to be spinning like 2 at third, 2 at short, 2 at second, just to be ready.
I think that's his future, is to be like that. Very utility infielder with a lot of upside with the bat.
Yep. Do you know how many games he's played at second base as a pro? Like in the pro minor leagues?
I do not. Do you know it? Is it a trick question here?
It's 14. 14 games in his 3 seasons as a Colorado Rockies organizational player. So second base is not in his wheelhouse, but it's in his skill set. He just needs to do it. I do not want him to get called up to play second base on day one. That's just too much for major league level with all that speed. But
you can't play short because of Tovar.
Exactly. But like, he's got to get ready. He's got to get prepped for second base before just getting called up and thrown to the wolves. So the Orlando Arcia conversation from earlier, bringing in a spell to give Ryan Ritter that chance to do it. But are the Rockies going to give him that opportunity to work on second base skills? Who knows? All right, down to
real quick. Andrew Quezada had a crazy week. I just want to point it out. 7 innings pitched, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, but 16 Ks. Averages like 8 Ks per 9. Had 16 in 7 innings this week. Had a start with 11 Ks, like 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 11 Ks. Just throwing that out there.
That's impressive. Quezada is just one of those guys that will always be a dog for you on the mound. He's just a fun pitcher to watch. If you have a chance to watch a Topes, Quezada start.
Shout out Isaac for pulling that up.
You missed another opportunity to talk about friend of the pod, your guys' friend, Mr. Gabe, Mr. Hughes call up. or promotion to AAA. He went 5.2 innings pitched in his AAA debut, gave up 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and hit a batter in that time. Through 90 pitches, 56 of them for strikes. He got called up way sooner than I expected to AAA. I really thought the Rockies were going to slow pace him out just to get TJ ready out of the picture. But it looks like we're going to be ready for a Gabriel Hughes debut in August, if not sooner.
Yeah, I think 2 starting pitchers with like an 8 ERA will do that. Will really force the hand of that. I will also say your Gabriel Hughes joke, your call-up joke, was almost as bad as the Otto Lopez joke that Spilly threw out yesterday.
But I guarantee you somebody laughed at my joke because I'm funny. I'm not Spilly. I just don't like his vibe. And
he stole our shirt.
I stole our shirt. And that's all it takes. You're on my bad side until I get that shirt back or an explanation. Hartford Yard Goats, AA. We have a winner player of the week. Mike, give us the player of the week for the Yard Goats. Then Isaac, give your guy.
Yeah, Juan Guerrero, 11 for 23, 2 doubles, home run, 3 walks to 2 strikeouts. You love that ratio. And 2 stolen bases can really kind of do it all. Really underrated prospect. Little gem we have. Came up as a shortstop. His hit tool is great. And we're seeing the Eastern League is really tough. And I think he started off really slow, struck out a good bit, but he's really finding his form now.
I like me a little Juan Guerrero. I do. All right, Isaac, who's your guy? Isaac.
I think he was going to say Wellington Herrera, though.
I might be disconnected. All right. All right. My guy is McCade Brown. I think I should talk about Sully as well, but McCade Brown, it's just a big strikeout name that I would just want to be healthy and go out there and do his thing. Be a number 5 starter to a relief lockdown 7-8 reliever. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 7 Ks in his start this week. Like, there's not a game that goes by where McCade Brown doesn't have like 6 strikeouts, and you're guaranteed that from him every single time. Just big strikeout numbers from Indiana. It's just insane. Isaac, you with us? Nope.
So, am I here?
Yeah, there you are. Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I'll go with. Let's go with. Wait, who did you guys say? I was not there for any of that.
I think we were lobbing Herrera to you.
Yeah.
Really.
Okay, Wellington Herrera. Well, Wellington Herrera this week, he has 3 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts, 1 hit. Won the Rockies minor league pitcher of the month, and he's showing out this year. He has a big 60 grade fastball, 95 miles per hour plus. It's unhittable. It's at a weird arm angle. Guys have not been able to hit it, and you think that the higher he goes through the system, like once you get to AA, once you get to AAA, guys are going to start to figure out that fastball, get to hit it, and that hasn't happened in AA yet. And that is one of the more intriguing pieces. In a podcast or 2 ago, I said to Lewis, I think that Wellington Herrera will be in the Rockies bullpen by the end of the year. And I think I totally think it's a possibility. Right?
Yeah.
Got called up to
taking that time away. Insane. I think that's a very hot take. I love the take. But going from high A to the majors in one season with the arm barn that we have, where's the room?
I mean, he could force the hand of this front office. Like like Isaac said, a funky arm angle as a lefty is going to be valuable. His fastball, I mean, he said 60 grade. I'd put it 65. You watch that in action. It's just when you have a fastball that good out of the bullpen, it's so much easier, even on your bad nights. It's so much easier to work around that. And I mean, look, he's young, and if we keep struggling and we need a little, we said earlier in the pod, if we need like a boost in confidence, a guy to come bring in some fire into the team, Herrera will definitely do that.
Yeah, him and his horses. He'll probably ride it in on a horse while he does that. I love me a little.
And then
Herrera.
real quick, I have to shout out. I don't know if we're done with the
Oh, do you, big dog? I'm on your show.
We had Isaac shouted out his boy Connor Vinskoyak, and I thought it was really funny because my boy Victor Juarez had the same exact stat line as Connor Vinskoyak. So I'm going to give Victor Juarez some love. 2.1 innings pitched, 1 hit, 0 earned runs. We talked earlier about Hunter Goodman and how we're going to throw a lot of propaganda out. I'm going to throw propaganda out to get Victor Juarez on the Mexican national team for the WBC next year. So watch out for that.
Those graphics are going to be fire. I can't wait for that. Did he start this week since Gabe was pushed up?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We had McCade Brown instead of Gabe.
Okay. Curious what Victor Juarez's future is because they were using him as a piggyback. Wellington Herrera's whip for the month of May was 0.486. The opponent's batting average was 0.98. That is a combination of high A and double A. We're going to wait for Isaac to get back.
I mean, his FIP looks good. The underlying numbers look great. It's not like this is a guy who's getting like lucky ground balls.
Yeah.
They're not hitting it hard. And look, they called him up. He's going to Hartford. He's getting the high leverage at bats in Hartford, the save opportunities, and he's still converting.
Yeah, he's one to watch. A lot of Rockies pods and stuff are talking about Wellington. So he's on people's radar. We definitely talking about him the most, so we had it first. Let's go to High A Spokane. Another player of the week. Rockies had some fun this week. Braylon Wimmer, outfielder, infielder, becoming super utility. Braylon Wimmer went 7 for 22 with 3 doubles, a homer, won the Northwest Player of the Week up there. It's just fun. It's very intriguing when the Rockies, any team, has these big middle infield prospects, draft guys like Braylon Wimmer, and turn them into where are we going to find room for you because we have some hope for you. There's something in your bat that we need to make happen. Let's figure it out. So Braylon Wimmer knocking on the door. Like, it's fun to see.
Yeah, I would talk about Ryan Ritter a lot, but I feel like Ryan Ritter has graduated from niche Rockies prospect to nationally known, especially like you see, there's posts everywhere now about Ryan Ritter.
Yeah.
So my new guy, I think, might be Braylon Wimmer. And he does it all. He has sneaky power. Not really sneaky this year. His hit tool is great. The glove is fine, right? It's going to be able to play. And then you also have the steal bases, which is it's just another aspect of the game. Another percentage point to get him over the hump to become an MLB player. And I really do believe we could have a solid MLB player on our hands.
Yep, I like it. It's round 8 out of South Carolina. All right, who's your guy?
I'm going to go Jared Thomas. I know he's an obvious guy, and I'll leave that to Isaac. I'll leave Condon to Isaac. But Thomas has become the best hitter in this league, the Northwest League, and it's so fun to watch. 8 for 20 this week, 2 doubles, a home run, and 4 walks to 6 strikeouts. Just an all-around player. He's hitting for a super high average, like the 320s. But it's been the same thing every week, just consistently hitting. He's only had a couple weeks where he struggled. Yeah. But there's a big dog in Spokane, so I'm going to go past that. Charlie Condon. Isaac, what are your thoughts on Charlie Condon?
Charlie Condon. Wow. He had a stint with the ACL when he was coming back. He was struggling with strikeouts. He was whiffing quite a bit. I was a little concerned. And when he got his call up to Spokane, I was initially shocked. He was struggling in the ACL. Why would you call him up to Spokane? And he's totally proved me wrong. One of his first games back, he hit a home run. And then even when he's not hitting home runs, he's hitting singles. He's having good at-bats. He's working counts. And it's something that you're really looking forward to see from your first-round pick, 3rd overall last year. And it's been awesome. He's a dog in Spokane. And we're going to keep seeing it all season long.
Do they fast track him to AA because they feel like they need to?
I doubt they will.
Okay.
What do you think, Lewis?
I don't know. The Caglione thing is definitely lingering over them right now. But I mean, I think it's the long game here. Give it some time.
Yeah, even if you do push him, if Ryan Mack is still part of this team, at the end of the season,
I don't think Condon's going to play 3rd. He's played a lot of first base in Spokane, so I think there's an obvious, hey, just go out there and hit. Don't even worry about the defense. Because if we can get just, a really good hitter and throw him at first and corner outfield, I'm fine with that.
100% agree. All right, name this pitcher that I'm talking about. High Spokane. Yeah, right? Yeah, High A Spokane. Last few outings. Last outing, he went 6 innings pitched, had 7 strikeouts. 7 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts. 3 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts. Then the last one I'll say is another 6-inning outing with 10 strikeouts. Who is that pitcher in High A Spokane?
Is it Alberto Pacheco?
Nope.
Yeah, he had a rough week this week. So LeBaron Johnson.
No. You guys are terrible.
Whoa, why are you saying
you should
like
know
that?
me better. You should know me better. Not your prospects. You should know me better. Who's my guy? 3.
Oh, is it Persecki?
Yes, Michael Persecki.
Yeah, Persecki's been awesome.
7 strikeouts to 1 walk, allowed 5 hits in High A, 2 earned runs in those 6 innings pitched. He's going to be pushing up again, pushing that number 4 or 5 starter. Could be a solid long reliever, get some strikeouts, get there. He's locking in his walk rate. His walks have gone down tremendously over his season. So something I'm watching very closely for my guy, minus that 1
2
out.
earned runs, by the way. I think there were 2 solo shots. So
he did give up 2 home runs, yes, which just seems to be an issue for all Rockies pitchers across the board. Anybody else you want to highlight in High A Spokane?
I mean, Cade Denton, friend of the pod, 2.1 innings pitched, 2 hits, 4 Ks. If you come on the pod as a banter session, I'm gonna congratulate you on anything. So there you go, Cade Denton. And also Connor Ian, 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 8 Ks. It's cool to see players getting a lot of innings every week, and Connor Ian's another guy that just seems to just eat innings, so very fun.
All right, beautiful, love it. Fresno, Isaac, you're up first. Fresno Grizzly, who is your highlight?
I'm gonna highlight this week Blake Wright. I think
Yeah.
I'm probably stealing one of your guys' picks, but Tyler was a big fan of Blake Wright. He does everything right on the field. He was off to a slower start, but this week he went 9 for 20 with 2 home runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. It's something that we were expecting to see with all the hype that Tyler was giving him. And he's a guy that if he continues this pace, he's going to fly through the minor leagues. There's not many obvious flaws with his game because he does everything at a really solid rate. And we're seeing that this week with Fresno. And I'm excited to see if he sustains his good results, right?
Yeah. And the only thing I don't like about Blake Wright is the fact that he's 23 in low A. I think you need to be in Spokane by June real quick. The Rockies, I think, are missing by not putting him in Spokane a little bit sooner. Who's your guy, Mike?
Yeah, I'm going to go Bryson Hammer, who had 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, and 6 Ks in 3 innings pitched. Crazy work for him. Great stuff. A guy who I think if you were to ask me like at the end of last year where I think he'd be in June, I would say Spokane or Hartford. And we're still in Fresno. So hopefully the Rockies get him up there in Spokane and we can fast track him.
Yeah, I'm curious how they start moving some of these guys between high A and low A because there are some guys that need to be moved up. I agree. Jackson Cox, just putting his number out there, not my guy, but 3 innings pitched, 0 hits, 0 runs, 3 Ks. Part of the TJ crew, Jordy Vargas, Gabe Hughes, and Jackson Cox. But I like the stat line for Everett Catlett just because it's kind of a cool name. 12 innings pitched, 12 Ks. 10 hits, don't like that, but only allowed 2 earned runs in that time and 1 walk. He's just practicing how to get people out when there's traffic on the bases. That's all that means. He just wants to see what he's capable of.
I will say, not friend of the pod, Catlett is a friend of the Twitter, so maybe we'll get him on the pod.
We should get Catlett. Yeah, there we go. If you're a family of Catlett, holler. Kalas, is he hurt?
It's a good question. we should have that.
I don't believe so.
All right. Well,
is he?
As we all look it up frantically. Terrible pod. He last played 5/31. Nope. Oh, this is tough.
Brutal week. Yeah, that's what it was.
4 hits this week. 3 games were offers. Huh? Robert Kalas.
Well, when you're a 19-year-old in Fresno, that's what we're expecting. And I don't know why I thought he was injured. I do remember watching one of Fresno's games this week, so there you go. I don't know why, but it is weird not seeing his name on the rundown because I usually include most players on the rundown and not including him.
Yeah,
kind of threw you guys for a curveball, and that's how underwhelming he was this week. But like I said, he's 19, so he's gonna have these weeks. Like you shouldn't be worried about this.
Still has a 754 OPS, slugging 443 on the season, which again, 19-year-old, not terrible in his first stateside stint. All right. Isaac, go ahead and highlight one or two ACL, DSL guys.
So I have a couple notes for the ACL this week. As a season in its whole, the ACL team has struggled with hitting home runs. But there was one game where there were 2 home runs in one game for the ACL Rockies. That was Alexander De La Cruz, who Aaron talked about in his week, Rockies minor league tools week. And he was like number 9 in the power ranking. So he has a good power stroke, got his first stateside home run this week. It's good to see Roldy Brito, who's a shortstop, switch hitter, 5'11", smaller guy. He hit a home run. He's hitting about 330 on the season. So it's good to see these guys finally putting bat on ball. Manuel Olivares went 4 innings pitched, 0 hits, 0 earned runs, 4 strikeouts. He, a couple years ago, was a closer for the DSL Rockies. And it's interesting to see that the Rockies are transitioning him to a starter after being injured last season. So that's something to note. And I have Angel Jimenez, who has been killing it. He throwing the baseball 99 miles per hour, 98 miles per hour. There's a tweet on Blake Street Banter, on X, just highlighting his pitch mix, his domination. He's doing great stuff right now. It's exciting to see groups of players show out. Oh, can you guys even hear me right now?
Yeah, you're good. You're in and out. You're there, but we got all of that. Angel Jimenez throws 99 miles per hour, and that's pretty much all we need to know.
Okay. Okay.
Cool. And then DSL guys, Larry Suero signed for $420K, hit a home run. Good tools. The fact he hit a home run the first game might indicate he has more power than originally expected. That's Isaac's writing in there. And then another name, Wandy Feliz, who signed for twice as much as Larry, hit a homer, 6'3", 202 pounds, physically mature as a 17-year-old. But power projections highest out at Rockies DSL players. So, and he's we love you, Isaac. We'll figure it out. So just good DSL.
Glad you're here, Aaron. This would have been brutal.
Just talking to yourself, right? As we get this here. All right. All right. I think that covers it. Unless
I will say,
go ahead.
Very quickly, if you guys want to I know baseball's a sport where you think you've seen everything. If you are really bored one day and need 10 seconds of entertainment, look at the DSL box scores. They're always, right now, the Rockies, DSL Colorado has 6 runs on 2 hits with 4 errors. It's beautiful box scores every week.
Just the name of the game of the young kids playing. It's they're prospects, but they're
young.
They're still so raw across the board. It's
no one was really good at baseball at 16, other than Bryce Harper. And
which remember that hype? That was insane. You were probably 2. The Bryce Harper train was so much fun. I mean, it was fun to get back on here. Thank you for letting me join your show and let me host it. It was
good. Always welcome.
Good time. We'll try to make it happen. Summertime's here, so we're going to try to find some more time for some banter sessions and all of that as we continue just to grind through the season. It's a grind for us too. There are some things that we can find hope in projections that we can dive into and find our guys that we love. Dugan Darnell, Ryan Ritter, go down any ACL guy for Isaac. We have these guys that get us through these, and that's what makes this road to Blake Street fun, where no other Rockies podcast does it the way we do, you guys do. So continue to keep with us as Road to Blake Street banter continues to grind on. And we just do the best that we possibly can, giving you all the minor league coverage, because these guys have stories they need to be heard as well. Go Rocks! Minor league affiliates! Woo!